welcome to Throw and Tell, and I am in Brighton at the Black Horse pub because it is Premier League night, and I am joined by one of its stars. I'm of course talking about Hollywood Chris Dobey.
Hi, mate.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you for doing the show. Welcome to Brighton, welcome to the South Coast. Bit of a journey down, how was it?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad to be fair. Direct train to Stevenage and then one train down to here, so it wasn't too bad.
Let's have a bit of a chat because you've got a big night tonight. Luke Littler, by the time this comes out, you've either trounced him or you've been trounced. There's no in between at the moment. How are your darts in 2025?
Yeah, I'm feeling my games there. Obviously playing some good stuff, just haven't quite done it on the stage. But yeah, there's a lot of, it's still early doors.
Let's have a look at your throw. And talk me through it as well. How long did it take you to work out, like one, where to stand, your action, because you've got such a beautiful action when you actually watch it in person as well. It's very considered. I know Steve Beaton's a hero of yours.
Yeah.
Is that someone you modelled yourself after?
To be honest, I wouldn't. It's literally my dad. So my dad's got like a normal stance. I used to literally stand like that, similar to where my dad stands now. But during lockdown, I kind of wanted to give myself that extra 5-10%. So I managed to change my foot stance and lean a bit forward before I throw now. It did hurt for the first month or so.
I can't do that. I don't have the ankles to do it.
It did hurt for the first month or so, but I got used to it and
look at that.
Doing all right.
Do you not find it uncomfortable going like this?
No, not now. I did it at the start,
Yeah.
because it was a big change.
Yeah.
But I thought if it's going to give us that extra 5-10%, then it's worth doing. And lockdown was the perfect time to try things. You had all that time in the house. And that's where it paid off.
What about the weight of the dart? So these are 23s, right?
23, yeah.
And, sorry AP, if you want to come towards us, if you want to show us how you grip a dart as well.
So I literally grip from the back of the dart. No finger touches the point or anything. It's literally from the back and the releases.
And how long did it take you to find out? And how did you even find out?
See, I don't know to this day. It's how I've thrown a dart ever since I picked them up.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't tell anybody how I've done it because it was just like a natural kind of thing. It's just the way I picked it up. And
so, as a pub player, I've really struggled with actually just even like, I feel like my grip changes. Throw on throw, you know. Yeah. The third dart isn't always coming out the same as the first dart. The action's a bit jerky. It's getting better. Is there any way you can improve?
No, to be honest, I still feel the same. I don't hold every dart the same. I think a lot of the pros will tell you that they're doing exactly the same. There's sometimes where I feel that I haven't got the right grip on it, but you still throw the dart anyway. It's all in the head, and I can't tell you to this day that I hold at the same place because I don't know.
Do you do any good darts impressions?
Nah.
Come on,
terrible.
you must have one in your locker.
Terrible.
Come on, you must have one.
Nah.
You must have a Rob Cross in you.
There's no hockey here to kick. But nah, I can probably, Ryan Joyce is probably the only one.
See, that's what I can't do.
The double 16.
No, you got to throw it from your forehead, though. That's a problem.
No. The doubles go, but that's about it. Like, shows what you've got.
Right, let's have a bit of a chuck, and I'm going to ask you the good questions now. Newcastle, who's the best player you've seen at St James's Park playing for you and playing against you?
Notable is obviously Shearer for the goals, but Ben Arthur was unbelievable when he was at the things I've seen him do on the pitch was unbelievable. He was ridiculous.
How highly thought of still is he at Newcastle?
I think he was. I wouldn't say he's highly thought of. He's one of those what could have been. Yeah. Because he did have the potential, but he was. It
looked like he didn't have it up here half the time.
Exactly. And we kind of get a few of them, we attract a few of them, and he was unfortunately one of them. Yeah.
Who's the best player you've seen against you there? In the flesh, I'm talking about.
I've seen some good players. Obviously seen Ronaldo at Man United on a couple of occasions.
Do you reckon Ronaldo at Man United is the best player you've seen though?
Nah, definitely not the best player I've seen.
Because I wouldn't put him in top 5 or 10. Like maybe Ronaldo.
Henry was good. Bergkamp was ridiculous. There's so many good players.
I think Henry's the answer.
Honestly, I think Didier Drogba playing. I've seen him when he played for Marseille against Newcastle. The way he handled our centre halves, he was unbelievable. Yeah. And that was before he's moved to Chelsea, and we knew then he was going to be a player. And
it's funny, I saw Edin Dzeko play for Wolfsburg against Fulham in the Europa League when we got to the final. and this is the year before he moved to City, and I was like, this bloke was just absolutely running through us, and no one could touch him. Henry is still the best player I've seen.
Yeah, Henry's ridiculous. But going off centre forward, I know Henry, he played up front and he could play on the wing, but the way Drogba handled our defence that day, like
Drogba was just a beast, man.
He was unbelievable, so strong.
You know what? He's the nicest guy as well.
Yeah.
I worked with him a few times. I've got his number actually. We can
Oh,
call
right.
him after. We'll give him a bell after. What are you up to? We fancy Brighton. He's the nicest guy in the world,
Yeah.
which must have made it even worse knowing that as soon as he crossed that white line, he was
Unbelievable.
Like,
and the goals he scored, it just proved what kind of a footballer, player, goal scorer he was. And
which probably leads me to my next question, like, why is football rubbish now? Maybe
think,
not for Newcastle fans this season, or the last few seasons.
I just think there's too much to it now. There's VAR and there's too many rule changes, and it's not football.
Do you think it's
now,
lost its magic?
Yeah, 100%. I think they're all, as soon as they're like falling over, like a little whack, they're trying to play for somebody to get sent off and that, and it spoils the game.
What's winding me up about football, and this is very your dad shouts at cloud, Simpsons thing, is like, I still have really fond memories of people like J. Louis Samuel, or like Hernan Crespo, or all these old school players, streets won't forget players, and now I don't know who's my Fulham team anymore.
Yeah, well, back in the day, I used to prefer it. I knew everybody from whichever team.
Yes.
But like I say, nowadays, I still love the football, still follow football, but nowadays it's hard to know every single player.
Do you follow it though because it's something you've always done, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Honestly, it's been my life for a long time now, and obviously being a massive Newcastle fan, I wasn't just watching Newcastle, I would always watch for the football, so it doesn't matter what game was on TV, I would sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
Super Sundays used to come in from playing football, put the football
class,
in, and
like,
it was
the
brilliant.
Panini stickers.
Yeah, it was brilliant, honestly, over the years, I think that's where I knew most of the football players, and I'd be collecting the stickers and the cards as
I just don't see kids getting excited like this anymore.
That's it, it's totally different nowadays.
Yeah. It's kind of sad,
It's a shame, it is.
I don't know if it's just like there's too much football,
Yeah.
and I think there's probably the same amount of football, but it's like easily accessible.
Yeah.
So it feels like that magic's kind of gone a bit. But it's like there's no characters anymore. People run the same way, they pass the same way. They're scared to shoot. They're scared to take on a player. We had Thomas Radinsky at Fulham.
Yeah,
it's like the ball just come to Thomas, like skin him, Thomas. And he just kick it past someone and run. It's like, go on, get into him. He wouldn't get a game anymore. Someone like him.
It's a shame because some of them are earning an absolute fortune as well, and
man.
they're sitting on the bench on £200 a week.
Well,
and you think,
the money thing's never really bothered me.
Yeah.
And like when we get into the Saudi stuff, like if you want to go earn your money out there, do it. It's a short career. Go earn your money.
Certain players are happy to just sit on the bench as well for 60, 70 grand a week, which is understandable, but.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I wouldn't say no to it.
It's just not football though.
But it just feels like that magic's gone. Like, do you ever just sit in the pub with your mates and just name old footballers?
Oh, we do it all on the tour. We sit in Joe Cullen, Adam Hunt. We often sit on the table and
someone just goes Morton Gans Pedersen.
So random like the old Portsmouth team where you had Suleiman Tari, Cornell. You just name Papa Bouba Diop, and then you go to Bolton. You had Yaskalainen and Kocha, Gardner. Honestly, you could do that every day of the week, and I would sit there all day, every day, happy to do that.
Yeah.
That was my life.
JJ Okocha.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
God, he was unreal, wasn't he? That whole
Bolton
team
was brilliant as well for them.
I'm trying to think of other streets.
Stelios, Giannakopoulos.
Other streets won't forget footballers.
Yeah.
Go on, just name your top 3 streets won't forget. Barclays, prime Barclays as well.
Obviously, I know he wasn't prime, but you've got to remember Edgar Davids played for Tottenham as well, didn't he? A lot of people will forget stuff like that. But
what was he doing at Tottenham?
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Didn't they have Raphael van der Vaart as well at one point?
Yeah, honestly, those were the days there. But the top 3 was I was a big fan of JJ Okocha.
I love JJ.
He was unbelievable. Man. Just trying.
But that whole Bolton team, like Sam Allardyce in charge. What is Sam Allardyce doing managing someone like JJ Okocha?
Nah, it's unbelievable.
But then they had Marlon Ricketts up front. Marlon Ricketts, man. J. Louis Samuel, like I said. Danny Mills is there. Yuzi Yaskalainen.
Radi Jahidi centre
half.
with Ivan Campbell.
I tell you what, man, Luke Littler doesn't know what he's
No,
missing,
well,
does he? Like,
honestly, we sat and we said it. Oh, do you remember him? No.
no,
Do you remember him?
no.
Oh, you don't know what you missed, like,
Yeah.
because that era was unbelievable.
What's the best FIFA of all time?
Oh, it's hard. I think it was around about the 2000s. I think 2000.
Again, I miss it.
I think it was Henri on the case. It might have been Davids on the case.
Yes, and
Trezeguet? No.
Giggs. Was
Might
it
have been
Giggs?
It was definitely Henri, Davids, and I'm not too sure. It might have been or Del Piero or something like that.
Yeah, it could
I'm
well
not-
be, man. But this is
trying to-
before like Ultimate Team, so it was
Yeah.
pure just
Yeah.
love of the game, grinding out results against the computer.
Unreal, man. Unreal.
They
Well,
don't know.
see, I
They don't know anymore,
I know.
do they?
You've got us excited
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Exactly, man. They don't know. Right, now this is the big question. You want to change your walk-on. Best FIFA song of all time.
Oh,
Because that should be your walk-on.
it is. Honestly, and I've looked through the FIFA soundtracks and that.
Yeah.
And you used to get loads, and there was one right about now.
Yeah, Funk Soul, bro. Yeah.
That
In
was,
Brighton,
That
in
was
Brighton as well.
literally one
Yeah.
of the ones that stick out from years, and it's still a good
I
song
always,
that's
when
there,
I
man.
think of FIFA songs, I always think of the Caesars, Jerk It
Yeah,
Out.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
jerk it out.
yeah.
Or Miss Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite Tee.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I think that was around about the 2000.
That was 2002, because it had like Miss Dynamite, and then it had for Jam, a town
Yeah.
called Malice. Caesars Jerk It Out. Yeah,
That had a
songs,
lot.
man. Like,
But if you ever want to choose any songs like for playlist, FIFA's definitely up there for.
so why
Just
haven't
listen.
you?
So
changed it?
I have listened to a few
Yeah.
of them, and it's just getting the right one. You just want something for the crowd as well. I know it's a big thing for me, but if it's not something that the crowd like, it's
Yeah,
going down
of
this
course.
road with.
Yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble. I would keep that all day long,
Yeah.
but it's for like
You want the
crowds backing as well.
But you're going to be coming out here to a bunch of people like myself who grew up on FIFA soundtrack.
Yeah.
So like maybe you Jerk It Out or Miss Dynamite. I can see you
Yeah.
can't have Miss Dynamite. That works. But it's good to hear that the boys are keeping the culture alive.
Oh, of course.
Of like
course.
just not throwing, just sat there on the bus talking rubbish about old Premier League footballers.
No, honestly, me, Joe Cullen, and that we always have this and just literally
Yeah.
random. It's so funny that you mentioned that as well,
Yeah.
because we do that on a quite
Yeah.
thingy basis as well. Every other week, I think we're playing.
Who's the worst person to watch football with? Who's your Rio Ferdinand?
The worst person to watch football with? Probably Chizzy.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm a Liverpool fan. And he's always,
Is he one of those where
Liverpool,
VAR is a conspiracy and everything's wrong?
You
everything's
can't
rubbish?
watch a game quietly when you're with Chizzy, that's
Can
what
you
it
not?
is. But he's a good lad to be around, though.
Are there any
he's
Sunderland
a good
fans
lad.
on the tour?
There's not many Sunderland fans in general, is there?
Come on, here we go.
Davy Prince, obviously, he's not on the tour, but he's
Yeah.
a big Sunderland fan.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there is any Sunderland fans.
But you're right, there's not many
Which
in
is
general.
good.
Come on.
But there's a lot of Man United, a lot of Liverpool.
What's it like watching with a Littler who's passionate Man United?
It's good. I remember I was at Old Trafford when we were playing in Barnsley on the day, and we played Man United at Old Trafford on the night time.
Yeah.
I took Ross Smith, who was a Man United fan.
Yeah.
I
Of
took
course
Ro-
he's from Kent, so of course he's a United fan.
I took Ross into the Newcastle end, which he
Yeah.
didn't have a clue about.
Yeah.
And Littler FaceTimed us before the game
Yeah.
in the crowd. Obviously, I showed him that I
Yeah.
had Ross. And then we went 1-0 up.
Yeah.
We went 2-0 up, went 3-0 up, and I'm FaceTiming Littler in the crowd. Oh, Ross was getting some abuse by the Newcastle fans
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they knew obviously he was a Man
Yeah,
United.
obviously they know you
But
as
they
well.
weren't
like-
bothered because he was sat with us. and
Yeah.
They just laughed.
There's
it off
levels
and
to
was-
it, isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good day, and
Yeah.
like I say, I remember Littler FaceTiming,
Yeah.
trying to give her a
Who
bit.
do you normally knock around with on tour?
Obviously there's me, Nathan, or Johnny Clayton, Joe Cullen,
Yeah.
Adam Hunt, Ryan Joyce, Ross Smith, and obviously Steve Beaton was one of them.
Yeah.
But obviously,
Can we not just bring him back
Steve
anyway?
left. Oh, honestly, I
Can we
would
not
love
just bring
to.
Steve back to travel with us?
I'm hoping.
I'll say us, like I'm
I'm
on the
hoping
tour.
he gets bored of
Being
being over
retired.
there and he comes back. But he's a good lad, and he is a big miss. Even for the first few weeks,
It doesn't feel
there's
right.
there's a big hole left on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
table. That's
He's a
for
big
sure.
boy.
Yeah.
One question I do want to ask you before we sit down and talk proper darts. Hollywood.
Yeah.
Now, one, where did it come from? I believe it was something to do with a hat.
Yeah, it was literally just, I came back from holiday one day, went straight to Super League. I was wearing the old sliders and shorts with a cap.
You must have looked alright for it.
Yeah. And the lad who was there, he was like, do you think you're some kind of Hollywood superstar coming?
On your team?
Yeah, he was just
Yeah,
the
right.
owner of the pub. He said, thinking you can just wear what you want to come and play darts. And that, it was literally just stuck from there. And I could never get away from it. Everywhere I went, everyone was like, oh, Hollywood. And you think,
Was the hat on backwards?
yeah, well, so
of course it was.
sometimes I'll have it up or sometimes I'll twist it.
So to the side?
Just whatever
Okay.
feels comfortable, and
So-
it just literally stuck from there. And
Darts is $1 million business now.
Yeah.
I think we need to work on your branding. Would you take the slap on the wrist from the DRA to wear a hat on stage with like Hollywood on it?
I couldn't. Nah.
Because the fine will pay itself in sales.
Yeah. Oh, of
These are
course,
things you've got to think about.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, you couldn't do that.
I think you could. I think you could get away with it. Why not? You're Chris Dobey.
Depends how big the fine is.
Yeah. And which leads to the next question. There's some brilliant dart celebrations.
Yeah.
You need one.
Definitely.
So I'm thinking you slam in a 180, and obviously everyone's got their own celebration. You go to the camera, you go like that, and like start
For
rolling.
the Hollywood.
I think you do that.
Yeah.
I think actually when you hit a 180 tonight, we'll have our Rashad Sweetin moment. And like after you go like that, he said, you go to the camera like this,
Yeah.
that clip goes viral, we make some money, we split it 70-30. Like, what do you reckon?
Who do you think? You're my manager. You sound like my manager there.
Yeah, but he will take more from you, I promise you. I'll tell you what, we'll sell it. You just give me a pair of flights and then we'll call it even. But that's the clip, man.
Nah.
I think you do it. I think
Well,
it needs
about
something.
The celebration, obviously, Johnny's got the old finger point, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
that's unreal, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's unreal. That's the best one in the tour.
Yeah, oh, 100% by a long way.
Because he makes it look so... He knows exactly where the hard cam is.
100%.
He does it so effortlessly. I like Dolan's.
Yeah.
I like that. What else have we got?
Um,
Oh, MVG sort of... Like does
Yeah.
a big boom.
Gilden's the thumb.
Yeah, that's a good one as well, isn't it? Yeah, I like Gildings. But again, we're talking... These are streets won't forget dart players
Yeah.
also. Like Gilding, we're going to be talking about
You've
it.
got to try and...
So you
get
need something, man. I think it's time. I think it's time you go like that. Or if not, you lose for Hollywood name.
Oh, I can't lose that. It's different, isn't it, now?
You lose for Hollywood. What would another choice be? Have you ever thought about it?
Nah, I've never ever thought of it.
No?
Nah.
Have you had a chance to meet people like Shearer?
I've met him
Yeah.
met him in a lift at St James's Park.
Yeah.
I've had the odd text message off him when I've done well.
That must be weird.
Honestly,
Like,
it was
especially getting a text from him.
when I won the Masters, I got the message, and
Yeah.
Steve Harper. I speak
Another
to Steve
Streets
on,
Won't Forget player.
So I speak to Steve on a regular basis, and he messages non-stop.
Yeah.
I've met Steve on numerous occasions. He's a great lad, and he messages one day
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, you look forward to getting a text. You're gonna get a message off
Yeah.
someone special." Blah
Yeah,
blah. As he said, and I was like,
Yeah.
who could it be? And the message came through the following day, and then
I bet you lost
saying,
your
"Hey,
mind.
Chris, Alan Shearer here," and I thought, "Oh."
Of course he
Wow,
said Alan
you know,
Shearer here.
Because, and I was like,
You're very
is it really
nippy
him
on
or is it
goosebumps.
Steve winding us up with on another number? But then, as I've done well in previous events,
Yeah.
he messages quite often saying,
Does he?
"Well done, man."
Do you try and get him tickets, or has he ever asked?
No, he's never asked. I would happily go.
Yeah, come sit
I
on
would
stage with
sack
me.
the family off to get him there.
Yeah, come. We'll do the walk
100%.
on. Yeah, we'll go hand in hand.
But no, he hasn't asked. He'd be grateful.
Yeah.
I would definitely have him there. 100%.
Do you get many asks?
Yeah, there's quite a few there.
Yeah.
There's quite a few asked. I managed to get the lads. So 2 years ago when I played at Newcastle,
Yeah.
there was a lot of them wanting to come,
Yeah.
but they had like a little break and went. I don't know where it was. They went. I think they might have went to Saudi. I think on a little training camp or something like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of them didn't manage to come. I think Matty Longstaff was the only one that managed it because
He
he
looks
was
like
out.
he enjoys darts.
He was
still.
out injured.
Yeah.
So the rest of them couldn't.
Yeah.
But I went as, like, I'd done some for Sky last year.
I saw that.
And I went
at the
there
training
last
ground.
year, and I managed to get the lads the
Nice,
tickets, and they enjoyed it there. And
So we spoke off camera, right? It's always surreal when people you grew up idolising then become like friends, and Steve Beaton, but obviously getting to take some Shearer.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. Do you ever think like, I was just a 21-year-old playing darts with a hat on backwards?
Yeah, it is crazy, because when I first started playing, you never think of these things.
No.
How far I am now, number 8 in the world, and you think, wow, I have actually done well.
Yeah.
And obviously, being a massive Newcastle fan, that was my life, watching them. So finish football on a Saturday and Sunday, and go straight to the match, and obviously go away watching the match. You've spent thousands of pounds watching Newcastle home and away.
Now you're getting invited
And
to
now,
come meet people.
Yeah, getting to meet them, and it's nice to see them give me the support that obviously I've given them over the years, and yeah, hopefully a few of the lads can make it to the one at the at Newcastle.
I just had a thought. We need you maybe to do like a Shola Amiobi celebration, or the Loa Loa. Loa Loa. Have you got that in you?
Nah, definitely not. I might do a roly-poly, and that's about it. Like, I can't
But
do
again,
anything
I
like
don't mind it. Robbie Keane made it his own.
He
Getting the
did.
celebrations. Robbie
Yeah.
Keane, roly-poly, bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang. Yeah?
Well, I'll just stick to the Isaac.
Yeah. But again, make something your own, Chris. Come on.
You've got to. You're right. You've got to.
Loa Loa. We'll end on Loa Loa because my word, what a boy he was.
Yeah.
He was unreal.
He's one of those. We loaned him out to Portsmouth, and
Yeah.
he came back to bite me on it.
Yeah. But it was just, I'll never forget Loa Loa.
Yeah.
You know, just flipping
To
all
be
over the
honest,
place.
he
probably only scored 30 goals.
Kazenga Loa as well.
Yeah.
He played here at Brighton
he did.
from Newcastle. So
Right, should we have a sit down and talk
Yeah,
about some darts?
yeah, go for it.
Brilliant. Chris, 2025. How are you feeling where you are at the moment with darts?
yeah, I do feel I'm up there. Obviously, just look what I've done the last year or 2 years. Top 8 in the world now. The highest I've been. Well, I was top 7 last week until the UK Open, but no, top 8 in the world, and my game's there. I just need to bring that stage game, and I'll be all right.
Your floor game is impeccable, right? So you was top of the Order of Merit last year.
Yeah.
You're top this year. Runner-up in PDC2, 1 PDC3.
Yeah.
Have I got that in the right
Yeah.
order? How is that? What's the difference between that mentality and stage?
I don't know, because my stage game's always been there. It was 2 years ago after the Premier League. I was walking into the rooms on the floor, couldn't get myself up for them because I've been playing in big arenas, and I kind of wanted that change for the next year. Just missing out on the Premier League, I think, helped bring that floor game back to where it should be, and got to number 1. And like I said, this year I've started the year off strongly as well.
How hard are they to get up for?
Yeah, they're really hard. To be honest, you should be getting up for every tournament that you're playing. If you're not getting up for it, then there's no point being there. And I kind of found that after my first year in the Premier League, and I really should have missed a few if I didn't get up to it. And this year I will be missing 1 or 2. But yeah, you've got to be up for everything. You've got to go into every competition wanting to win, thinking you can win. And
Is this the toughest tour in sport?
yeah, I would definitely say that, because you're up there by yourself. You know, if things aren't going well on stage, it's a lonely place up there because there's only you there.
So you mentioned you're 8 in the world, previously number 7. The gap between you and Bobby Cross in 4th, I think, is about £50,000, £60,000. Is that the aim this year? Just cement yourself in top 4?
Yeah, you want to be in the top 4. Obviously, you want to play in the World Cup, but look at number 1 and 2. It's a long way off.
The two Lukes have got it sewn up for a while.
But
I think.
yeah, you want to be in. My aim now is not to drop out the top 8. You want to stay in that top 8.
Yeah.
And that was it. When I was in the top 32, I wanted to stay there. I got into the top 16. I wanted to stay there. Now I'm in the top 8. I want to stay there. And you just build on it. And if I can get into the top 4, it'll be amazing. Like I say, 50,000 is not a lot really when it comes to the the floor and stage games. It's one big win on the TV. But Euro Tour, you do well in the Euro Tours, and on the floor you can chase that up within a few competitions.
But top 4 is very much in your sights, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it's got to be at this part of my career now, and where I am now in the rankings. It's got to be.
So before we went on air, you was telling me your schedule, and I was kind of blown away about how grueling it is. For people who might be watching this who are not familiar with what the grind looks like, just talk me through your schedule that started Monday and is going to go through for the next few weeks.
Yeah, so obviously this week now, I came down to Brighton Wednesday, play the Thursday, then travel to Belgium on the Friday, you play Saturday, hopefully Sunday, travel back on Monday straight into Leicester to play Tuesday, Wednesday Pro Tour. Then from Leicester, I go to Nottingham for the Premier League on the Wednesday, you play Thursday night. And then little old me is going to Cheltenham races on the Friday.
Right, that's an optional one. You know, he's chose to go to Cheltenham.
And then I'm going to Wembley on Saturday for the football on Sunday. So yeah, it's a long old week and a bit.
Again, like, what's the hardest part of that?
The travelling's always going to be hard, but like I say, you choose to do it. I love it.
Yeah.
And it comes with the job. You know you've got to do that travelling, so you've just got to get used to it. And I think being away from your family is always tough. But like I say, there's such things as FaceTime now, and it's brilliant. What
do you make of the Euro Tour changes? Again, for someone who, if you can explain it in layman terms, from what I understand and from what Alan Shearer said the other week at the UK Open, he was very eloquent about it, and Ryan Joyce has been strong, Ryan Searle has been strong. It's made it harder, right, for people outside the top 32 or top 16?
Yeah, of course, but I know what they're saying, I know where they come from. Yeah. But like I say, if they've done well in that UK Open, they would have pushed them into that top 32. Sure. But yeah, understandable with Ryan Searle because he was always up there in the seeds for the European tours. And now I think he was number 4 seed, maybe, and he's kind of, because he's not in the top 16, he's no longer a seed, which you can get his frustration and stuff. But yeah, I understand what they're doing. And like I said, for me, I'm saying it from my perspective because I was actually one of the seeds on there. I think I would have been like number 5 or 6 seed this year. So yeah, it's kind of not any different for me. No, so it's just I'm curious from the other side of the fence because we've heard a lot of people outside the top 32 and top 16 have their say about it. So yeah, just very curious of someone who's actually fully cemented inside that top 16 what they thought. So yeah, of course, and like I said, I think obviously it's because the fans, the Europeans, they want to see the likes of Peter Wright, Van Gerwens and stuff like that. And there was a chance last year where you weren't going to have Van Gerwen as a seed. He was coming in on Friday night, but he went on to do well in one of the competitions to stop that. And like I say, they pay the money and that's who they want to see. So you can kind of understand it that
It's
way.
a business.
Yeah, of course.
Darts is a business now.
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of business, Premier League. Night 1 started very well, like it did 2 years ago. Yeah. Not gone your way since. What's been a big factor behind that?
I think it's just a slow start. Giving them 2-3 legs head start. I think I've done it against Michael. Probably coming to the game a bit too late. I think if I had won 5-5, I would have won that game. Same against Nathan. Probably should have been 3-0 up, easy. And yeah, he had a 180 at the right time in that last leg, and it was a killer. I think I was sat on 64 for the match, and he took out in last start as well. It hurts, but yeah, when you're playing in games like that, nitty gritty, I will get over the line sooner rather than later. It will come. It's just about timing, and I believe that I will win.
I mean, this is a long old grind as well, Premier League, 16 weeks, hopefully 17 weeks. How are you approaching each night?
Yeah, you just got to approach each night the same as every night. You've got to prepare right. I'll not do any different in the practice routines. Yeah. I'll approach it a couple hours beforehand, put the work in, chill, and then have another practice before I go out. But yeah, I've just got to try and get on top from the off, because like I said, that's the only thing that's letting me down, the slow starts, and I've got to be on fast when I'm playing there, Luke tonight.
Well, yeah, Luke in Brighton. There's been a lot of talk about crowds in Premier League. Full disclosure, I thought the Glasgow crowd was a disgrace. I thought it was embarrassing. Poor look for darts, poor look for the city, and I love Glasgow. The week after, Dublin was the complete opposite, and I thought they were great. If you don't mind me asking you, does that affect you? Have you thought this isn't what I signed up for? What do you reckon?
To be honest, I kind of switch off. You've got to, if you can't switch off from the crowd, then it's going to be a long run. It's going to be hard. So yeah, you kind of switch off, but when they're against you from the off, it is hard.
Yeah.
And it is hard to switch off because they're so, like, they feel like they're on top of you. But I understand why you're from Glasgow.
Yeah.
Glasgow
It was weird, wasn't
tough, and yeah,
It was weird.
To be honest, they didn't do anything bad against me. I think I'm the closest to Scotland that they were going to get, but it was a tough one. But yeah.
How do you find there's a big difference now between Premier League crowds and the crowds that you had at UK Open in Minehead?
Yeah, there is, because obviously the UK Open, it's a 18.
They're hardcores.
Yeah, it's 18 to 30 weekend as well, so it's just like parties and stuff, you know. But proper dart fans, you know, they'll travel anywhere. They'll go to Blackpool's brilliant for the proper dart fans, you know. They understand it. You never get any abuse or whistling at Blackpool. I think they're reasonable. And
has there been a time where you've been on stage and thought, actually, I might need to come off here?
Nah, I wouldn't. I would never ever walk off stage. There is times where it's been brutal. When I was in Germany against Martin Schindler.
They love Schindler over there.
I
love Schindler over here.
In Germany, I played Jan Artut a long time ago, and I got it there. And I didn't get like booed badly at Ali Pali, but when I played Fallon, you understand it, and they were all wanting Fallon to win, which is understandable. But it is a shame. But I've been in the opposite position as well, where the fans have been on my back as well, supporting me.
Does it make it easier?
Nah, it probably puts a bit of pressure on you as well. Obviously, playing in Newcastle with the fans, there's so much pressure on you wanting to do well. Get
emotional coming out in Newcastle?
Yeah, I did the last time, definitely. You kind of take it all in, and when I had the flags now, just for me, you kind of realise how much of a special thing it is. And
in wrestling and boxing, they have special entrances occasionally for their hometown. Are you thinking of something for Newcastle?
I see. I use local hero all the time at Newcastle, and it's a big part of the Newcastle. Obviously, it's what they play when they come out.
Would you play in a Newcastle kit? Can you even do that?
Nah, you're not allowed.
It's rubbish.
There's no football colours allowed, unfortunately. Obviously, in case there's any trouble in the crowd. And there was a lot of Sunderland fans there a couple of years ago. I remember getting booed a little bit, but...
it was good when... So Little, obviously, very outspoken Man United fan. When he comes out in Liverpool and was giving it the old 2-0, that was very good. I love that, because if you're going to do it, you might as well do it properly.
Yeah, of course.
You might as well own it.
And he was good enough to back it up that night. He won that night as well, which, didn't go down well.
I want to talk to you about playing someone like Gerwyn Price and Welsh Championships. Gezi is one of my favourite players. I think what he is for the sport is brilliant. And as a neutral, when I first got into darts, I was like, I can't stand this guy. I want to see him lose. And then you appreciate, actually, he's brilliant. He's a character. But when he's giving it the antics and you're on stage, as he did at the Worlds, how do you cope with something like that?
It's another one you've literally just got to switch off. I know he's going to do it before the game starts. It's what he does, and he needs that to get himself up for it. So you understand that and you respect that. There's sometimes where I need to get myself up, so I give it. So I'm not a big giver. I don't give it a lot, but at the right moments I do. And I think, like I said, he brings it on, and he needs to do that. But it doesn't put me off. He's a great lad. Off stage as well, he's a great lad. We've been out for food and drinks. You know, he's just a down to earth, genuine guy. I
think there's a difference between what he does and what I can say his name because he's long gone. Someone like a Kevin Painter used to do, where he'd be chuntering away behind you. Have you ever come across something like that playing darts?
You kind of get a few people that try and get in your ear and stuff, and you do mainly on the floor, and the people do their little antics on stage, and you do get that. But like I say, you just kind of brush it under the carpet, and you've just got to get on with it.
Do you think that's what you're missing from your game?
Honestly, I'm too nice. I do need to change stuff, but like I say, I don't know if it will put my darts off. You've just got to do what.
We've just seen John Cena turn heel. I mean, a Chris Dobey heel turn in 2025. I don't know what's bigger.
You never
know. World Championships, obviously, great run to the semi-finals. Do you look back on that with pride, or like what could have been?
No, definitely pride. I keep every year going into the Worlds. I just want to better what I've done the previous year, and
And you have done.
yeah,
2 quarters,
yeah,
semi now.
yeah, and you just got to build on from that. And like I say, I'm always proud, but I was disappointed not to give him a game in the semi-final. But yeah, there's progress, and like I say, baby steps. You don't want to do everything too soon, too early. But yeah, I'm happy with the way my game is, and hopefully I can do some damage this year leading up to the Worlds and take that into the Worlds.
Do you believe you are a world champion?
Yeah, but I believe I've got it in us, definitely. I believe there's a lot more major titles to come as well, and I do believe the Worlds is one of them.
What do you reckon is the most realistic major that you can pick up?
Um,
For example, like the Grand Prix is a tough one, right? Double in, double
Yeah.
out. Like that's hard, and it suits some players better than it suits others.
yeah, obviously I think that's up there. Although my doubles haven't been great lately, but it's what we're born and bred on. You know, that's our bread and butter. The double start.
Yeah.
It's what we play in the local leagues up north.
Yeah.
So that would definitely be up there. I think I could have a chance with that one, but I would like to see something like the match play, the format of the match play. Yeah, longer format, because sometimes I'm a slow starter. If I can get into a rhythm in the first 4 legs, I would like that, and that'll be a big one to win as well.
Is that one? Like, I know obviously everything should be on a bucket list, right, for a player of your caliber, but match play is kind of like, it's for match play. Like, if they're not going to win the Worlds, I want to win the match play.
Yeah, of course. It's not just for the sake of it being the match race, because I remember as a kid, obviously I wasn't even playing darts then. My dad, leading up to the match play, they used to have something called the Bobby Bourne Memorial in the Winter Gardens, and my dad actually won that when I was a kid. So for him to win something in the Winter Gardens,
And
then me to do it as well, it'll be something special. And like I say, not just because it's a match race, just because my dad's won something there as well. He's got the bragging rights at the
So you do come from a very good darting family. Your dad, by all accounts, is a very, very, very good player. You said the best player not to turn professional, or one of the best not to turn professional. Your uncle played, is that correct?
Yeah.
When does Project Littler start with your boys?
It's already started with a little one. He's on I've got him a little magnetic dartboard for his birthday, and he's never off it. And,
Is he not?
No. My eldest has got no interest now. He did have a good natural throw when he was like 12 to 18 months, but no interest whatsoever. But
And how old are your little one?
He's 14 months
And
now,
he's got a nice throw already.
He's literally thrown at the magnetic board, and
Yeah.
we try and get him earlier than Little Lad. If Little Lad done a 3, try and start him earlier. But I didn't force nothing on him. He just literally, I got him that. I thought, see what happens, and he's always thrown it at the board, and
Oh man, that's
he
class.
loves it. And,
Like, that's giving me like that's
it's
class,
good.
man.
It's good.
Do you reckon that the day you retire is the day you lose to your boy?
Nah, of course not. I think obviously I would like to still be playing if one of those was to come true. It would be great, but
Are you going to be the type of dad who, when you're playing your boy, like absolutely whips him?
100%.
Yeah, good.
100%.
We like that.
You can't
we like
them
that.
win.
Learn the hard way.
But I'm
Gotta
also
learn the
one
hard
of
way.
them that'll play pairs with them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play pairs with like just a good player. You want to try and bring them through as well.
Before we wrap up, obviously, I don't want to speak about Littler because it's not a Littler interview, but what he's done for darts, I've noticed even at pub level, is the amount of kids coming through. Is that the biggest change you're seeing right now?
100%. There's so many academies as well started because of likes of Luke. My uncle's kid was obviously into darts, but he wasn't that interested. And then Little has come on the scene and he's banging into it again. And it's great for the sport. Obviously, where he's took the sport in such a short space of time as well is brilliant. And like I said, there's so many academies, and it's good to see because they look up to someone like Luke, who's only been on the scene a couple of years, and like I said, well, what he's done in a short space of time has been fantastic.
I'm seeing these 13-year-olds on social media who are, I mean, one of them beat Luke Humphreys the other day, averaging 112.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on with this sport? You know, it used to be something you play with your mates in the pub, and you know, you said you started at 21.
Yeah.
Like, kids are starting at 11 years old now.
Yeah, I wish there was this kind of platform when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I probably would have started earlier. But like I say, I was banging to my football and just playing with my mates, and I haven't done bad for starting.
It's great that darts is now actually giving people a chance, even if you're not in the top 32, I think even down to 64,
Yeah.
you've got a chance to actually earn a living
Yeah.
playing darts now. And that wasn't the case, even 10 years ago? Maybe?
Yeah, of course. I remember when I first started, I think it was you were paying your own entry fees.
Yeah.
You were getting 250 quid a game. And yeah, I remember those days well. But like I say, it's all changed now. And it deserves to be where it is now.
It just feels like there's a buzz, right?
Yeah, there's such a buzz around it all the time.
We was talking off camera because target player, and you can see a range of target darts there. But there's now, like, in my group chat, we're talking about so-and-so might be signing with this person, with this brand. And when Josh Rock left Mission, it was like, oh, where's he going to? Where's he going to? There's speculation, and Connor Scott announced, and it feels like there's a transfer window. And again, I've never experienced that in my time as a darts fan, where people are now getting excited just for people signing with other brands.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it is good, and like I said, it's good for the sport.
Yeah.
The brands, there's some great brands out there, and like I said, the big brands have got the big players, and like I said, I think each to their own, and there is some great talent out there, and like I said, the sport is in the right place now, and I think it's only going to get better, bigger and better.
I agree. And tonight you're playing Littler, so I'll let you go and practice.
Cheers,
Get your head in the game. Appreciate
Cheers,
your time
mate.
today.
Anytime, mate. Cheers,
It was
mate.
good fun. Thank you.